Hey guys, it's Ashley with AMJTutorials, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do this image. It is a few steps, and again, I just want to let everyone know, I say this at the end of every video, but if you guys have any questions, concerns, or ideas, please comment below. Any feedback is helpful. Okay, let's get started. Okay, to start this design, we're going to get our text up. The text that I'm using is called Retro Groovy. I downloaded it on defont.com. If you're unfamiliar with downloading fonts, I will link the video where I explain how to download and install them on your computer. But I already have it installed, so we're going to start typing our text all in all caps. Enter Peeps sake. Okay. We're going to highlight this by clicking the left mouse key and highlighting it, and going up here on the top left and typing in our font called Retro Groovy. And we're going to select it. Okay, it's all one. We want to separate these, so we're going to go up to Path, Object to Path, and then over to Object, and down to ungroup, so it gives us separate rows. Okay, so let's make sure that these are even. So if you look up here on our width, let's make sure that this is locked, and then we're in inches, just so we're all on the same page. Okay, let's just make the width an even number 4, and then we'll make sure the Peeps is an even number 4. And that is a 4. Okay, let's center all these up. We're going to draw a square to select all of them by just hitting our left mouse key and drawing a box around. And then we're going to Control-Shift-A to bring up the Align and Distribute panel to our right. And we're going to center these up on the vertical axis. And then we're going to distribute them evenly. And actually, let's make them come in closer. So let's put them closer. Okay, do you see how it immediately wants to, it's like a magnet? If yours does that, go up here to the top right and you see that little magnet. Sometimes it's very helpful and then sometimes it's annoying. So you can just click off of that. We will use it here in a second. Alright, so let's draw a box again and do that again. Center on the vertical, and then distribute evenly. Okay, here is our checkered board, race stripes. You could easily Google image that and trace it, but I made this because I just wanted the 2 rows of checkers. So let's show you how I did that. Let's go over here to the left and use the rectangle tool, and we're just going to draw a box, a square, and I did 0.4 for the width, and then if you can see over here it says 0.391. Let's unlock that and make it a 0.4, and then we'll lock it back. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we're going to use the magnet tool. We're going to go up here to the top right, and it's called snapping, and we're going to click that on. Okay, let's get closer to our box, and by pressing the 3 key, and then we'll come out a little bit by just pressing the minus on our keyboard. Okay, now let's duplicate this square by hitting Control-D, and then we'll start making our checkered flag. Now, do you see how it kind of like magnetized? And then do you see where it says corner to corner? We want that. Okay, and so on. Control-D just to duplicate it, and then get it on there where it says corner to corner. And you might have to move in a little bit. There we go. And just so on. Now that you got all of your squares in line, we're going to select them by drawing a box over using our left mouse key. Draw a box all over all, and that's going to select all of them, and we're going to go up to Path and Union to make those one. Okay, and then we're going to make sure that these are the same size for width, and then we're going to make this one 4. Okay. Now we can turn off our magnet up here on the top right, and then let's get these a little closer. And then let's select them all again, and let's line them up on the vertical, and then distribute them. Okay. Okay, now we need these to be a different color. We're going to union those, and then we're going to duplicate them, bring them over here, and we're going to go up to Path, Break Apart, and then we're going to select off of them and only select each individual word that's going to be a different color, and go up to Path and hit Combine, and then select the next word, Path, Combine, and the next word, Path, Combine, and the last, Path, Combine. Okay, so now they're each individual words. First, I brought in a color palette. I just do this because we're doing this out of vinyl. Now, if this was sublimation, this would be an amazing tool to use. Since I'm doing it in vinyl, it really doesn't matter what color I put on the screen. It's whatever vinyl I'm using when I cut the mat is what color it's going to be. But for sublimation, whenever you print this, it's going to be the color that you put on the computer. So this would be awesome, but I just do this for pretty. So I just typed in Easter palette, color palette on Google. And okay, so for O, I'm going to do a yellow. So I'm going to go here on the left side and use the dropper tool and click the color that I want. I'm going to do that yellow, and then select tool on the right and hit 4. Do our dropper tool, and I'm going to do this green, selector tool up there on the top, in the top left, hit the Peeps dropper tool, this pretty pink, and select Stake dropper tool in this lilac. Okay. Okay, now we're going to give this an outline, and selecting our word and hitting Control 9 to bring that in. And we're going to hit Control 9, Control 9, Control 9. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to save this image 2 different files. So we're going to save this as this image. We're going to go to Control Shift E. It's my dogs in the background. And it's going to pull up your export on the panel on the right, and we're going to make sure that it's selected, and go to our folders and save it. O for Peeps sake, and then we're going to say color, and we're going to save it as a PNG image and click save. And then now we're going to ungroup it by hitting Control Shift G and deleting the colors and just saving the whole black image. So make sure that everything's selected, drag a box around it. Our export is already pulled up, and we're going to save it. Click the folder tool, and we're going to name it O for Peeps sake background as a PNG and hit save. Okay, we can delete these. Now let's go to Google and type in wave effect online in Google, and the fontmeme.com, that's the one you want. It'll pop up a page that looks like this. We're going to hit upload image, and we're going to type in, oh, for Peeps' sake, background. It's going to pop up our background. We're going to go wave options. Preset A and C are the good wave options, and hit generate. And then we're going to right click this and copy it and put it into Inkscape, and right click and paste. Okay, let's do the same for our colors. You go back to that, there's a little X down here, click delete image. We'll pull the home screen up and upload that O for Peeps' sake, and we named it color. Open. Preset A, generate. Right click, copy image. Go back into Inkscape, right click, paste. Okay, so we have two separate images. Our first image, let's convert this into a path so our Cricut can recognize it to cut it. So we're going to go up here to Path, Trace Bitmap. We're going to make sure here on the right our Trace Bitmap pops up panel. We're under the multicolor. Under the detection mode, we have selected colors. And this is just a black and white image, so we always want to scan twice. Remove background, and the speckles are on. And if you look at the preview, it's not showing the checkered flags. And this is my mistake because these are two different colors. You can see this is kind of a gray and this is a black. So we're going to up our scans to 3, and that includes our checkered. So we're going to hit apply, and we're going to pull that off. We can see that the group of 2 objects is this image, and this is the image. So we want to delete that. Let's ungroup them by hitting Control-Shift-G, and that ungroups. And let's just pull them off, because sometimes our images get a little, and as you can see, it's a little, do you see the outline that it got? So you can remove those by hitting the nodes and getting closer and just drawing a box over everything that you don't want by using your mouse. Hitting the left key and just drawing a box over all of the unwanted nodes, and hitting the delete key on your keyboard. Okay. Now let's pull that back in there. And then let's hit Control-Shift-A, bring up that align tool, and let's just make sure everything is centered. Okay, that looks good. Let's union those. Go up to Path and Union. And now let's convert this into a path by going up to Path, Trace Bitmap, and then we've got our rule of thumb is all the colors and add 1 for the scan. So we've got black, yellow, green, pink, purple, which is 5 colors. Add 1 is 6. So make sure it should be all the same from our last Trace Bitmap. So we're on multicolor. The drop down box is on colors, and we said 6. We can look at our preview and make sure that all the colors are accounted for, and make sure we've removed our background. Let's apply, and we'll pull that off. We can see that this is the group of 5 and this is the image, so we can delete that one. And for those that are new watching the group of 5, we see that down here at the bottom right here. It says group of 5. Okay, let's break these apart by hitting Control-Shift-G for ungrouping. And what we only need is the colored letters. So we can pull this off. Sometimes when we trace things, they get a little crazy. There will be a lot of nodes. So we always want to check our nodes. Let's click the node on our left, second down, and that looks good. So we can bring that over and put it on here. And then let's check the 4. Okay, there's some unwanted nodes up there. So let's just draw a box around them and click delete, delete, delete. And then we'll bring this over there. And then let's check the peeps. That looks good. And then where is our, oh, there it is. It's hard to see. Okay, let's check our sake, the nodes. Okay, that looks horrible. And yes, you could delete every node, but if you zoom in, and I'm using the plus key on my keyboard, and you see all these nodes, yes, you could do that. It would take some time, but you could do that completely and get rid of all those unwanted nodes. I think we should let's delete that, take the image with the outline, and let's just fill in sake. Okay, we'll get as close as we can by using our plus key. We're going to select off of it. We're going to go down here to our painter bucket tool, and we're going to, let's just use a color for right now. Use this purple. And we're going to fill in the letters. Okay, and then we're going to select them by hitting the selector tool, holding the shift key, and selecting the letter, and then going up to path union. Okay, now let's pull that back over. And let's make it that purple by hitting the dropper key. That purple is like gray. Let's see if there's a different one. There we go. Okay, and then lining those up. Okay, delete everything that we don't need. Let's group these together. And then I'm going to fit it inside my box by hitting Control-Shift and just clicking on the arrow and sizing it down. Okay, now let's add in our flowers and our little star sparkles. Okay, I went to Google and I Googled a flower daisy and a star sparkle clip art. I found this, and out of all these daisies, I feel like this one will be the easiest to cut out of vinyl. So we are going to our trace bitmap. If it's not pulled up on our right, we're going to go up to path, trace bitmap. It should remember the last steps that we did. So it's already on multicolored, it's already on colors. And the only thing we need to change is our scan. So we have white, black, yellow. We have 3. Let's see if it'll, and remove background. Let's delete the image. And then we're going to just delete everything that we don't need. So let's delete all of those. Delete those. We'll fill these in. Okay. Now for our daisy, let's fill it in by going to the fill bucket on our left. We can make our daisy purple to white. Okay, and then for the black, I'm going to go up here to Path, Break Apart, and then Path, Union. And then let's put our purple flower back together. Okay, let's drag a box over them and Control G. And then we can put these in here. We'll change the colors here in a second. Just one color, so it's 2, and apply it. This I do not want. Delete. And just hit delete on my keyboard. And I am hitting the minus key on my keyboard to go out. Let's change this to black by hitting the black down here in our color palette. Make sure we selected it, and then we're just going to go in here. I'm going to zoom in by hitting the 3 key, zoom out by hitting the minus key on my keyboard, and then make this smaller by hitting Control Shift and sizing it down with my mouse. Okay, we can size this down a little bit. Alright, let's add another flower by hitting Control D, moving it down here. Another flower, Control D, moving it over here. And then let's just add some sparkles. Control D to duplicate it. And then we'll just go in and add just some sparkles in these empty little spaces. And then let's change our flower color. We can hit Control Shift G to ungroup them. Let's get closer by hitting the 3. And then let's just select the color. Go down here to our color tool. Let's make it a little yellow. Okay. And then let's make this one a green. Control Shift G to ungroup it. And then let's make it this green up here. We'll use our color dropper and hit green. So now, to think ahead, when we're cutting this on our Cricut, I want to cut all the black out in one. So we know that, let's ungroup everything by selecting everything and hitting Control Shift G. Okay, so everything's ungrouped. Okay, so we know that all of this is one. Now to put that back in there, we can just hit Control Z. Okay, so we know that is all one. And then let's select our black sparkles. Is that all of our black sparkles? Okay, and go up here to Path, Union. And then let's group our flower white and purple together. Group that. Let's group all of them. Just the color in the little center by hitting Control G. We can group all those. Let's pull them off. And let's select all the background of the flower and our other black by holding down the Shift key and selecting all the black. Go up here to Path and Union. Okay, so let's pull that off. So see, everything will cut out as black, and then I'll just have all of my colors to cut out. Now we can just move those back on there. Same with the flowers. Here, move them back. Okay. Now we can group this by hitting Control G, and then let's save this. Let's go up to File, Save As. And then we'll say it's going to save in our documents. And then O for Peeps' sake, SVG. Save as a plain SVG and hit save. All right, guys, that is it. Again, if you guys have any questions or any ideas for me to do in the future, please comment below. I hope you guys have a great day and happy creating. Bye.